Hello YouTube, and welcome back to the channel here today, or if it's your first time here, welcome to the channel here today. I react to anime, and today I've chosen to react to a new film on my list of films I'm gonna react to. So essentially I'm doing 5 films in a row here. Last week I did the Angel's Egg OVA from 1980 something, I'm forgetting off the top of my head, but it was very good. Next on the list, I'm going to spin the wheel. I already know, but me in the past didn't. I'm going to put some footage in here, you'll see. Here's the footage of me spinning the wheel to see what I'm going to watch today, so you know that I didn't fake it or whatever. I don't know why I'm doing this. Looks like it's Wolf Children. Let's get excited, let's get ready, let's get that movie downloaded. And yeah, the title would have spoiled it anyway, but hey, Wolf Children. That's what I'm going to watch here today, Wolf Children, let's go. I believe Wolf Children is the longest of the films I had on the list there, so we're going to settle in. I've had my coffee, I've had my breakfast, I'm ready to go here. It's very hot outside, so we're going to try to keep at least a little bit cooler inside and settle in for 2 hours. Let's go. Now, this was a film that came out in 2012, I believe. I'll just pop over here to the ANN, no reason why not, and pop it up for you guys, because I'm going to be reading a lot from it as we try to get our bearings to start here, just a little bit of context, you know. And very notably, it's directed by one Mamoru Hosoda, of course, yes. One of the, again, when you first get into this kind of thing, this whole, like, anime thing, probably one of the first, like, 4 or 5 directors you'll hear about. That's at least how it happened with me. Again, when I did Japanese in high school, one of the movies I was shown was The Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Again, that's a Hosoda flick. I was looking around just before, because I'll just pop over here, because why not? I didn't know he did, like, the Digimon movie. I fucking love the Digimon movie. Let's go. So, yeah, I watched that in, like, cinemas way back in the day. When did this thing come out? That'll be interesting. Okay, maybe not in cinemas, because I would have been 3 years old. I wasn't 3. Probably saw it on a DVD then. Very, very young when I saw the Digimon movie, I'll say. But yeah, what a throwback for sure. But yeah, I mean, I'll do the obvious stuff. What do we got here? Boy and the Beast, Belle, Mirai, Wolf Children, Summer Wars. Lots of stuff, obviously. But again, more recently on the channel, I've come to respect, well, all of the Utena episodes are amazing. Again, if you wanted to know, if you're particularly familiar with Utena, then it's those ones. A lot of them are really, really good. Episode 20? Episode 20. Episode 20. Episode 20? You know what I'm talking about if you know. If you know, you know. But I guess while we're here, let's give a few more other opinions. Mirai, I thought it's okay. Kind of drags. I think the main character's kind of annoying. I don't really want to watch a kid cry for... Like kids are annoying. I don't know. That's kind of my takeaway there. I don't know how that'll impact a movie called Wolf Children. Maybe we'll figure that out from there. I really dug Belle. I thought it was really, really good. Albeit flawed. It's a flawed film. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. It doesn't really go anywhere. It's more about what it all means rather than the plot moving forward, I guess. But I think that it's aesthetically brilliant. I really like it from that perspective. Really good use of CG. Boy and the Beast I have not seen. Summer Wars I have not seen, but I hear good things. Girl Who Leapt Through Time, I think it takes a little bit of a third act twist that I didn't really like. It gets a little bit serious, where I kind of enjoyed the slice of lifey stuff a little bit more. But again, across all these films, even the Digimon one, now that I'm thinking about it, you can kind of see a uniting kind of character design thesis, I guess I would say. They all look kind of similar, flows similarly, involve similar themes. Furries. He's got a thing for furries, for sure. Maybe that's not the correct nomenclature. People with, like, ears and tails and stuff. Again, Wolf Children, we're watching that today, so again, we'll see a little bit more of that. There's a reason we're referencing Beauty and the Beast here, is my point. You know what I mean? From the rest of the stuff, I don't think you can really pull all that much. A little bit of work on Sailor Moon, which is probably what... maybe not, because that's like later Sailor Moon stuff. I thought maybe that's what got him into the old, the whole Utena thing, considering there's such a strong connection there. Anyway, I digress. We're going to get off Hosoda, and we're going to go back over here to Wolf Children. So we're going to pop over here to the screenplay by Hosoda and Okudera, of course. So let's pop over there to here. Again, these ones will be a little bit quicker. Mostly the connections we see are to other Hosoda-directed films. So, like I've kind of already talked about my opinions on them and how we're going to take that going forward, I guess. Now, this is the live-action movie from 2014, but there's a few other connections to some Ghibli stuff as well. I think there's some other connections to Kiki's Delivery Service we'll see a little bit later. Just a little bit of staff crossover there, which is interesting, just in kind of the 2000s-y theatrical anime landscape, I guess I would say. Music on the film by Masakatsu Takagi, of course, not known for much else in the anime sphere other than a few Hosoda films. More of a classical music artist rather than a soundtrack person, if you know what I mean, I guess I would say. Animation director on the film is Takaki Yamashita. Let's say that, sure. Again, work on Bell, work on Summer Wars, work on all these kind of the same movies I've been talking about. A few other interesting ones here, a little bit of One Piece work, of course, specifically looking at stuff that they've animation directed, of course, working on the Digimon movie as well. Haven't heard much about the animation of Wolf Children, as I guess I'll set up some expectations a little bit later of what I know about it, but not really an animation movie known for its animation, I guess I would say. Now, this is an interesting staff member. We've got Yoshiyuki Sadamoto, of course. Pop down here, see character design for Evangelion. And that's like Neon Genesis Evangelion 2? Yeah. Those are some of the most iconic character designs in history. And tell you what, up here, Fully Cooley and all that kind of stuff, that's no slouch either. Those character designs are really, really good too. And yeah, even a connection to last week, Angel's Egg, some key animation there. Really love the animation in that film. Again, seems... other than the dot hack stuff, which I'm not familiar with, seems like a, Gainax alumni, a lot of that kind of stuff. But of course, working with Hosoda on Summer Wars as well, a couple of others there too, I believe. Yeah, it's really interesting, because again, like hard sci-fi, softer sci-fi, but still pretty sci-fi, right? It's hard to say how you'll take those character design, I guess, instincts towards something that, in my opinion, isn't sci-fi. I don't think Wolf Children is. I think it's a little bit more heartfelt than your traditional sci-fi fare, so we'll see. We will see. And I believe the last one we'll look at here is Hiroshi Ono, who is the art director on the film. Mainly a background artist, even working up to current day with Studio Fuga on a lot of stuff. But yeah, how old is he? He was born in 52. Old guy. I've been around the block, I guess you would say. If you're doing art for Akira, I guess you're pretty good at your job. I guess that's what I'm trying to say there. Jinro, Castle of Cagliostro, Rurouni Kenshin. Yeah, there's some good stuff there for sure. Now, sometimes when I start something new, I'll have a look at the key visual. I don't think there's much to even look at there. It's a couple of wolf children and presumably their mother. Now, again, this is where I'll kind of spin off to what I know about the movie. I think they like grow up over time. It's an allegory for like parenting and like motherhood and stuff like that. Notably, I don't see the father. Don't know. Would the implication also be, again, in kind of Hosoda's wheelhouse, that if there's a mother that's a human, would the father be a wolf? Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. That's all I'm trying to say. And the Japanese title of the film is Okami Kodomo no Ame to Yuki. I believe Ame and Yuki are the names of these two children. I think that's how it works. Seems to be something that Hosoda is fascinated by. He's definitely gone back to the well with the kind of parenting angle on Mirai, for sure. Like the difference in perspective of when you're young versus when you're older. Even back to Utena, like a lot of that shows about growing up. Even, again, adding to the ages a little bit more. Bell's coming-of-age film. Girl Who Let Through Time, coming-of-age film. Yeah. Something to think about there, maybe. But yeah, mostly I'm excited. I've got my copy here somewhere, which I'll get up for you. Hang on. I believe it's a Blu-ray rip, so it should be the official stuff. So again, if you wanted to copy me, it's RH on Nya if you wanted to find that one. But yeah, I think it's just a Blu-ray rip. Should be what everybody else has. And yeah, before any other stuff where I start actually watching the movie, let's shout out my patrons. Of course, this would be up a week early on Patreon. If you're watching it there, thank you very much. The next film in the set, if you liked that wheel before and what was on it, potentially the next one is up there already. There's some like Satoshi Kon stuff. There's some crazy stuff on that wheel is my point. So potentially it's up there on Patreon if you wanted to have a look, as well as all my other videos on the channel 1 week early. Exclusive voting rights in polls, lots of stuff. So again, at your leisure, it's linked in the description below. Many people have become patrons of me Thank you. Such as Mickey Babba's Tros Plus Plus, Backslash, Bananarama Hamadama Sama, Bobbin, Chobo Ribby, Dapper Dwarf, Domobot, Ichu, Ed, Fancy Question Mark, Fleur Nightingale, Fruit, Gloriana Tenebrae, Glyke, Greybeard, Gus N, Ika, Ice, Iria, Yako Yavanen, Jacob R, Joran, Kelvin, Clem, Nosta, Cot Begemot, Lick H, Lou, Master Detective, Matt Bratcher, Max, Mistake L. Chen, Molly Weinberger, Mr. Maniacs, Parnick, Pencil Sharp 333, Ragashingo, Ronlad BNK, St. Lily, Sal, Sam1373, Skeleton, Voiko, Without a Net, Yuan Kai Shu, Yuki Ali, Zach, Akomancer, Binshi, Hans Peter, Marsh, Voodoo Chili, Koichi Kaito, Need, and Rantiki. Thank you everybody for giving me money. I enjoy money. Let's watch Wolf Children. I think that's the best way to start here. If you're used to my other format with TV anime stuff, I probably won't be going through this at the very end frame by frame. We're going to write a bit of a summary, do my normal movie thing. But yeah, let's jump in. Wolf Children coming right up. Rightio, I have Wolf Children from 2012. Up there ready to go. 1 hour, 57 minutes, and 4 seconds on this one, so sync up accordingly with your own copy. I'm using a Blu-ray rip. Should be very similar to the official stuff that's out there, the official Blu-ray. I'm using the Japanese audio, of course, the sub. So disappointing if you wanted the dub, I guess. You could still watch it in the dub. I'm just going to be listening on the sub, so reacting to that kind of stuff. And yeah, there'll be a picture-in-picture version in the description below, potentially in 2 parts. We'll see how we go. Hosted on Mega, as you do. Anyway, I'm going to give this thing a 3, 2, 1. Radio, 3, 2, 1, go. It's that thing that shows up at the start of all the movies, the anime movies. I'm recording, which is good too. Let's settle in, folks. Stars? Oh, it's like a... yeah, gotcha. Okay. What's this? That's accountability. I didn't know what that was. Little pig or something. Okay. Are those like... oh yeah, Studio Chizu's his thing. Are those like helper studios or whatever? Assistant? Okay. White flowers. There's the wolf. Now we just need the children. I guess that's the sort of character design thing, just kind of the eyes a little bit wider apart. Oh, interesting. I thought it was her voice. But no, it's... makes sense. I'm tracking along. Soundtrack's gorgeous. Speaking of gorgeous, bit of CGI in the background. Never hurt anybody. Good for her. Mm-hmm. Guy's a wolf or something. He was different. Okay. All I'm trying to say is the dad isn't in the poster. Really loving the soundtrack. Yeah, he's a mean-looking guy. Oh. Hence the no textbook. That's okay. I've snuck into my fair share of college classes. I stole education. No way. Arrest me. Oh, but he's a kind soul. Bit of mystery to him. We know we like that. Yeah, chase him down. Very polite. Good pacing. Liked that cut. See, I thought that was the guy. That's a different guy. She really loved that carrot. Fair enough. Well, this is cozy. First good look at the backgrounds inside, too. They're nice. A lot of detail. Interesting picture in the background. Okay, so I think what we're trying to do is, she's thinking about him all the time. Because she likes him. Oh, do you get it? Because he's like a dog. He's like a wolf guy, so the dogs don't like him. This stuff's great. It's really good, kind of romance stuff. And it's being played really straight. Flower. Flower. I know. I'm smart. Oh. Okay. Seems like it'll be important later. Oh, Dad's dead. Put on a brave face. As long as you weren't like scary smiling. Respectful smile. This is cute. Oh, like talking about his job. Really loving the pace so far. It'd be nice to own property, I would agree. Well, you should do that with me. Well, she likes books. She had a bookcase before. Oh, smooth. Ooh. Ooh. On a bridge, you reckon? I'm a wolf? Oh, yeah. Oh. Oh, hell yeah. This shit's so good. I was going to say something about Hosoda and placing the camera where it is right now, kind of looking through windows. That was a big thing in Utena, of course. It's a very naturalistic conversational stuff, right? Feels very natural. It doesn't feel particularly theatrical. What are you doing? Christmas is romantic. I've seen enough kind of anime to tell me that. Yeah, kind of like Christmas date in Japan seems to be a big thing. Oh, did she get stood up? Seems like she did. That's no good. Where again, Western Christmas is more family thing. This is a bit sad. Where's my wolf guy friend? What happened? Hmm. Look at this Twilight shit. Hell yeah. So he can just like transform on a whim, I guess. Takes me a little bit longer. Come on. Be serious. Ooh. Again, I hate to say it. Certain subset of the audience would be way more into this than I am. I'm not part of that subset, and that's okay. Oh yeah, that's a furry, all right. Love the background though. Very it's giving me like Monogatari vibes. You look like a wolf in a man's clothing. Okay. Of course, I must remember that the narrator is one of the children. Ooh. Sensual with the wolf man. Oh yeah. What was I gonna say? It was so him being a wolf, does that have to do with him standing her up? Because again, just being, you know, a bit of a stick in the mud about it. Like, he's a bit of a red flag at the moment. He hasn't really shown up for dates and he's a bit fucked up. I don't know. I don't know. I don't like it. I guess the wolf stuff could be a metaphor for like his origins, his home stuff. Gotcha. Yeah, there's definitely a confidence to the film thus far. It's not moving. It's moving at a pace that I really enjoy, is what I'll keep saying. Yeah? Thoughts? Specifically her, again, with the wolf side, is interesting. It's like accepting that side of him. What do they dip in there? A bit of soy or something? What is that? Bit of syrup? I do not know. Oh, he loves it. Yeah, this kind of stuff's fantastic. These montages have been really, really good. The placement of that photo there next to the other photo of Dad. Oh, oh. What are you, sick or something? Is that a bit of morning sun coming through the window? Off to the clinic? Or maybe I'm off base, I don't know. Oh, that's great too. Reversing. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I think she's got some information for old mate. What's the can of peas or something? Yeah, okay, gotcha. That's cute. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, look at the flowers. Again, I can only imagine as somebody that'll never have to go through this. What's the bird? It's a wolf thing, I guess. I don't know. Or maybe he like, oh, I hunted this bird and now I'm gonna cook it for you. Fair enough. Yeah, that little vocal in the soundtrack is really elevating it for me. Oh, she loves it. I could seriously, I know like the movie kind of hasn't even started yet. I could watch stuff like this for like ages. Reminds me of Look Back when I did Look Back too. Just really, really well made musical montages. I can watch them forever. Well, oh yeah, Natural Birth. She had books on it or whatever. Well, good on them, I guess. Bit dangerous, but you know. Oh, fantastic point. You can't really have like a wolf baby in a hospital. Me too. So she was born when it was snowing. I'd imagine this is Yuki. Might be. Okay. Okay, bit of a time skip. And pregnant again. Fair enough. Of course, rain. Amen. Whoa! Of course, rain being kind of that omen there too. He dropped off some groceries. Good on the big fella. What? Is that his wallet? On that same bridge. Oh. Well, I mean, that'll do it. I mean, what happened? That's pretty fucked up. Now, I thought this was going to be a deadbeat dad thing. No, he just got killed. Or died? I don't know what happened. The feathers there would imply that, he was doing it while hunting, right? Oh, great. I love the camera here. Yeah, it's about what's not said. Well, I mean, that's pretty devastating. Mm-hmm. Dream? Yes, okay. Kind of the reversal of the start of the film. Okay. There's something about that character design that looks wolfy. You guys seen B&A? Brand New Animal? Kind of similar to that guy, too. Okay. Yeah, on that same windowsill with the jars with the flowers. Well, you were a kid. And yeah. I mean, yeah, that's pretty accurate for a child. Okay, so when they get, like, kind of annoying, they become wolves? When they're acting like kids. Oh, so yeah, very obviously they're the mother bird with the nest. Sickly? How is she living? Okay, dad had a bit of money. She's strong as fuck. Yeah, again. Great. What, study wolves? Yeah, nothing but respect for the single mothers out there. Holy shit. Yeah, and again, the reveal there that she's reading a wolf book is funny. Well, that water looks really cool. Yeah, really liking two things. Really like the framing device of the child talking about her mother. And really liking the kind of idea and conceit of like half wolf, half child children. Like, I think it's very apt for how toddlers are. What did you eat? Like a dog? Like, ate some, like, a beanbag something. Which way? Which way, Eastern woman? Oh, it was silica gel. Must be alright then. Again, I wonder how watching this as a parent would be. Because kids just eat random shit and then you get super worried and. Yeah, kind of that responsibility to it, right? Again, I'm empathetic enough that I can understand, but I'm wondering if it's hitting harder for that particular audience. Yeah, they just loving the camera in this film. Really am. Again, it's weird to say the camera, the framing. You know what I mean. Yeah, I understand. Oh, that flower again. Yeah, less cute. Again, like, yeah. No support at all. Who's knocking on the door? What an awful person. They're like two. Maybe one. Hey, other guy in that apartment? Oh, what if you invested in, like, some earplugs? I guess the idea that they're, like, again, half dog, like, because dogs would be barking all hours of the night as well, and that would be annoying. I don't have any. You come look through the apartment, I don't have any pets. Probably not at the moment. They might be dogs. Yeah, because they're little dogs at the moment. I can't show you my little dog children. I want good things to happen to them. Can good things start to happen soon? I'd like that. It's making me a little bit sad. Oh, loving the colours. Animation's fantastic too. Yeah, very, very much like early morning dog walk colours. Okay. Moving to the forest? Oh, the picture, of course. Don't know if I care for it convenient. It's about what they need. The soundtrack is brilliant, by the way. Moving, sweeping, emotionally, like kind of resonant. That's a little bit of a, fixer up. See, if this was where I kind of lived, this would be $1 million. This seems really nice. He's the world's worst real estate agent. He's like trying to trying to convince him not to do it. Okay. That's funny. Again, my Australian instincts are kicking in. I'm like, be careful about snakes. Like, don't go playing near there. There could be something weird. Big spiders. Very different kids, aren't they? Mm-hmm. Okay. Grandpa Nirasaki. Don't jump on it. You'll make more holes. Not the creepy crawlies. Uh, what an inspiring character she is, by the way. She's doing everything for her kids. See less holes over time. Please. I will say I'm liking these kids better than Mirai. I kind of see the vision. They're annoying, but it's kind of fun. Yeah. Wish that was translated. Yuki and Ame. Oh, brilliant. Loved that. That, again, it's very similar. I'm like seeing the clarity in what we're doing. I'm seeing the vision. And the flowers on the glass too, of course. But seriously, what are they eating? I guess there's rice. There's like rice fields, right? Okay, and they're going to the convenience store here, just like corner store. Yeah, that's the other side about kind of small towns. Everyone knows everybody, and there's not much to talk about. There's not much to kind of gossip about, you know. And that, yeah, that same bookshelf, right? We talked about that early in the film. Seems like we've turned a corner though. I imagine that grandpa character is going to become involved. This is quaint too. I like this kind of like van library. Yeah, they're getting old enough. Yeah, but it's going to be something that's hard to repress as well, I feel. Whatever you say. Interesting. Cute. Got the little gum boots and stuff. Hell yeah. Give her a hand, you guys. Come on, nice grandpa. Or stern grandpa. What happened? Very, very different kids. But I am better. That's a great question. So what's the equivalent? What are you chasing? Yeah, you were in the hole. It looks like a rabbit or something. Oh, there you go, rat. Not the snakes. Yeah, very different between the two siblings. I'll keep saying it. He's very sickly too. That's been a constant thing. Yeah, from the book you're reading, right? So I spent some of the runtime here trying to find the direct allegory we're going for with the wolf stuff. I think it's less like a direct thing. It's more like, well, that's no good. It's more like it's a broader thing. It's like your individuality or something, right? It's hard to say. I wonder what the townsfolk are thinking. Like, I could use a hand. But I get what he's trying to say, I think. Like, you can't just smile your way through it. Like, you gotta grit your teeth and be a bit serious about it too. Hmm. Great question. Mm hmm. Oh, thank you. Okay, so you're his son. Again, it's probably good instinct, honestly. Well, teach me. I'd like to know. But he keeps showing up, right? I'm learning a lot about gardening too. I just wanted to garden more. I don't really have a yard. You could be more specific. Yeah, look at this tsundere old man guy. He's helping in his own way. Such a gentle movie. Really liking these shots of the clouds in the sky. And again, of course, go on and on about the soundtrack. The OST. Oh, fuck, I could use a potato actually. That'd be good. I've got some, I think. Do something with potatoes today. Big baked potato or something. Yeah. Maybe he'll have a bit more of a backstory too. Why he is the way he is. Bit tired. Oh! Okay. I don't really have money. Okay. The old guy's being nice now. And now they're arguing about how to be nice. This is cute. This is very cute. Very different circumstances, but it reminds me of in this corner of the world that I saw on the channel as well. Just I guess the time span of it too. Obviously very different circumstances. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of Yuki here too. She's all over the place. Yeah, but again, we're running into that same problem again. Also, you're a bit older than preschool now. Are you guys still 5 and 4? Again, only if you can behave yourself. You're not. I don't believe you can. You're very emotional. Okay, I'll cover. Yeah, good cover, I guess. Sure. No. Why hard throw? I am recording. Sometimes you just gotta check. Oh, what a bountiful harvest. You could sell produce. That could be a way to make money. Like literally door to door. There's gotta be a better way. Yeah, I was feeling this was coming too. Maybe? Or maybe not. No, okay. I thought we are gonna do dead grandpa stuff. Oh, those are huge. Yeah, Genki indeed. Yeah. Again, she's putting it together. Hey! It's already 90. Jesus. Yeah, here's my thing. What happens when they find out the secret? What happens? Bit of community. That's all it's about. I kind of want the movie to end here because I know we still have a fair bit there. Just because I know things have to go bad again at some point, and I don't want them to go bad. Which I guess tells you my level of investment. Yeah, it's like a little makeshift shrine for him up there. It's cool. How are you guys keeping warm? I guess she doesn't really care. Depends on what kind of wolves they are too, because some of the wolves really like bit of snow on them because they have such a thick coat, like a husky dog or something. Oh, that was a great shot too. The icicles to the trees. A lot of momentum here. Is she on a bike or something? Might be the soundtrack. Very, very... And it's a weird one. Look back vibes, for sure. Yeah, no, she's just running fast. Fair enough. Yeah, what a gorgeous scene. This is, yeah, already way up there for me. CG's not bad for the time, too. One Tree Hill. Again, not to be a nerd about it and, you know, try to live in the moment a little bit more, but this is clearly the moment that they're embracing their new life and embracing the outdoors and that kind of wolf side of themselves. They've been allowed to flourish and the mother feels proud. It's good. As long as she doesn't hurt herself, Jesus. Yeah, and she's found her feet too, you know? A little bit. Yeah, perfect. That is a perfect scene. I would be very surprised if this is not the best scene in the film. Pleasantly surprised. Now, cut the movie. Cut the movie. I'm so aware that there's an hour left. No! Second act fall? No way. Yeah. 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 Can you swim? Not against the current. And yeah, very, it's because of his scarf. The scarf being the human side, right? Because I'm not completely in tune with either side. I'm a bit of both. Now, very notably, Ame hasn't been the narrator. It's been Yuki. Bit of CPR. That's nice. Is that a kid doing the voice? Very good voice act if it is. Alright, what if we got you guys inside and warm? Yeah, a little bit more closed off. Cautious. Okay, they've aged up a little bit. Isn't school... You have to pay for school, right? She must be able to afford school. It's fine. Okay. As long as she's having a good time, I guess. Oh yeah, very professional. Look at those clothes. Now, how is school going to go? She looks like the most professional one there. This is, yeah, opening ceremony or whatever. Okay. She's flourishing. Let's go. Okay, so I guess it's like a country school, right? Dude, she's smashing it. Cross country champion. Like, you don't have to wear a uniform, is my point. What's the townspeople division? Find a job? Oh. It's a really cute little museum. I love a museum. Okay, yeah, on top of the sanctuary. Well, I have been working with plants a lot. Hmm. And again, it's for him, right? Because he needs that wolf figure in his life. Probably from my father. Oh, from Russia. Does he speak Russian then? Hmm. Yeah, again, it's all for him, right? That's why she wants to learn all this stuff. kind of not. It was more like a anthropomorphic thing. Well, he's trapped inside. Yeah, well. It would be nice. I found a rat. It's another big snake. This looks pongy. What the hell? Yeah, again, reading through between the lines here, the wolf stuff is like traditionally masculine stuff. That's kind of a lot of my perspective right now. Yeah? This is cute. So again, simultaneously while she's doing the wolf stuff for the son too, for Ame. One Piece? Yo. Monkey D. Yeah, you need to find... How are you going to be with other boys? The lads. Yeah. This is... That's trademark Hosoda. That's fantastic. Yep. I feel like I was shown this shot after watching Utena. Yeah. Thought that might happen. Yeah, the let's be friends there is funny too. He's a little bit scrawnier too. Dad wasn't very big. He was a thin guy. We're doing a bit of a time skip here too, seems like. Not present. Did you get a car? Fair enough. Oh, bit of a voice change. Oh, it's busy. Business is booming. Oh, you go chill with the wolf. Named character? Stop smelling me. Huh. Maybe. Wolf guy? It's it's hard to know what you smell like. Not the jokers. You're supposed to take those out of the deck. Now I'm a little bit hesitant. And she's very different from when she was younger. This is pretty clearly a little crush maybe as well. How old is she? Grade 4? Like 10? Yeah, fair enough. I really love the mirror there too. I meant to comment about it before. Well, this is a nice little secretive spot. Oh, no, never mind. Whoa. Holy fuck. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, this is probably going to be pretty bad. Hmm. Okay, any question of how there's like claw marks or anyway? I mean, he did kind of corner me. Animals really don't like that shit if you like corner them. So maybe I was wrong. I thought it was like a little crush thing, but maybe it's a little bit more like I need to be suspicious around this guy because he can like smell me. What do you want me to do? Huh. Oh, the drama too. That's great. So I guess the idea is she's covered for now, because obviously they don't know that half wolf, half like human children exist. So then he's just saying it's a wolf, but that also implies that Sohei also knows. Straight back into gossip mode. Yeah, maybe take her home for today. I don't think the secret's out. Unless it's out, and then we're in trouble, but this is really cute. It's not good to see her vulnerable, but she's been a boisterous character up to this point. It's great to show that she cares, I guess. has some level of investment in not fucking this up. I guess that's what the little promise to yourself is saying too. Yeah, I thought, yeah, like, I don't know. Left a little note. Oh, cute. Okay, I see. So Sohei went with, oh, Wolf did this. I think that's the idea. So she's still been gardening and, like, doing a job and all that stuff? His ear's getting better too. Yeah. Yeah. How long has it been? I'm gonna say maybe 2 weeks. Yeah, thank you. I like that answer. That's cute. Again, it's about what Wolf represents there. That side of you. I don't hate that side of you. Yeah, let's go to school together. It's a pretty crazy scar. Do you want to touch it? I don't want to touch anybody's wound ever. Don't ask. I don't care to know. That means it's healing. Oh, hand hold. And Mum's just watching. What do you think about all this? Wolf. He looks a lot like his dad now. Is this movie based on anything? It felt like it's moving at a book pace, if that makes any sense. It feels really well paced, I guess is what I'm trying to say. Heh. I don't think I can. I think he's in a cage. No, no, different sensei. Different wolf. Oh, fox. Okay. Same difference, I guess. Okay. Would rather the peach than whatever the other thing was? Hopefully Mum knows the way back. Um, yeah, again, I think this kind of stuff is very clear to see the allegory. He needs a, you know, strong male figure in his life to show him the ropes. Again, associating the kind of wilder side, that wolf side, with masculinity. Because he doesn't have that support network from his dad. Because his dad got put into the back of a garbage truck. That's pretty fucked up. Is that water CG? Yeah. I think the kind of the steam effect, the water vapor effect, there's really good. Oh, look at all the animals. Top of the food chain, baby. Oh, maybe not. I'm not fighting a bear. I don't care to know about that. Your name? It's like the first time I've seen him like smile. Yeah, yeah, he's like he's coming out of his shell. He's leaving the nest a little bit, you know? Bit of pride. Yeah, that's a really effective spot for that scene too, with the display all around him. I don't think she wants to fucking know. Very different now too. The kids have changed over time. You're both, and you got to reconcile that. Yeah, but when you were younger, you were so very. All right, mum. Come on, mum. If you've had siblings and you haven't chased them around the house wanting to kill them, then I don't think you've really had siblings. Yeah, but again, like that's mum's feeling her inadequacy here a little bit too. She can't really even break them up. You know what I mean? Like that's where we need dad to come in. Oh, red eyes. It's Araragi. What the hell? Yeah, again, like, don't hurt your sister. I'll tell you that one right now. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's not like parenting gets easy as it goes along. Okay, so you're going to high school or middle school? He could put all this knowledge to good use if he went to school. Biology major, something like that. Conservationist, like his mother already is, just work for them. Yeah, but like you don't know where he is right now, and it's like fucking with you. And of course, as the rains are getting heavier too. Oh yeah, obviously the bird's nest there as well is another one. Hmm. What's that sound? Hmm. Okay, how are you going, Yuki? Okay. What? How does he not know? Himitsu. Hmm. Why were you just watching him play? Why? Oh. Hmm. Is mum gonna see you? Maybe. Hello, mum. Standing at the precipice. Sitting at the precipice. Did his eyes change color? Like permanently? Bit of a summer vibe. It's like calling back a dog that when you don't want him to do something. Stay. No. Look at this math shit. Yeah. 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 Again, that's why the radio is translated in the way it was there before. Gotcha. Okay. Landslide would be pretty bad. Yeah, but again, you're ultimately concerned still about the environment and the food chain out there and all that kind of stuff, right? And caring for it. I don't know if it's a good thing, you guys. Yeah, I really like the look of the water. I mean, I'm acting like this movie came out in fucking 1952. It came out like 12 years ago. Oh, 13 years ago as of today. Happy New Year, everybody, as well. Ame's still there. Obviously, still wanting to leave. I know. I know. Yeah, I mean, inconvenient timing. I wonder how it translates in Japanese having a kid named Ame, like associated with like this rainstorm. Does that come off as on the nose for them, or is it a little bit more accepted? Like it's like, oh, that's kind of clever. I don't know. Because I think if you called somebody like Rain and then they were heavily associated with rain during whatever the story was, I feel like that would come off a little bit cheesy. Now, this will be an interesting one to watch with Sohei. I feel like everyone in these Hosoda films, like they have same face a little bit. Like I'm just looking at these kids now, so much like Girl Who Leapt Through Time. Also, being in the school hall during this time is probably a little bit safer than on the roads with some rando. I don't know. Not some rando, you know what I mean. Obviously, what I'm thinking is going to happen here is that Sohei is there with Yuki. This is a pretty bad situation, though. Like, I guess you're worried about the kid, but maybe you trust him to know what's going on and to be safe during this time. But again, that's part of the story as well. Mum learning to let go and that kind of stuff. I don't know about leaving that kid all alone. The only one left. Okay, and then they, like, yeah, so they're both together at the school, and there's no teachers even now. And they don't get accounted for? Something like that. That's why you gotta do your roll call, guys. Come on. Tell you what, Mum's a trooper. She just goes. Like, she hasn't stopped the entire movie. That's suboptimal. That's suboptimal. I mean, depends on the kind of bear. Because if the bear feels like the kids are threatened, they'll go, but... Ooh. Okay. Have a good day, ma'am. Mama Bear gets fucking mad. That's all I'm trying to say. Again, maybe I'm wrong about bears, because sometimes they, like, charge you. I don't know. Bro fell asleep? He's cracked. Yeah, how didn't the teachers notice there were 2 fucking bags on the ground? Come on. Yeah, she almost got eaten by a bear. Wasn't very good. Yeah, there'll be food. It's like being trapped in the mall overnight. It's kind of a vibe. I don't know, it's probably not my place to say. Do you? Like the touch of the hair, too. Um, Mum, I'm tapping out, I'm sorry. I'll make him do what he wants. I'm not doing this. Feel like that's gonna break. Again, we're gonna use that word, suboptimal. She's still going. What a trooper. Head up, champ. Oh, maybe not. I don't think so. Of course, it'd be negligent of me to not mention the day of the death of the dad and how it rained that day, too. I mean, I could see you. I can see the both of you. Don't know. Why did we? Looks pretty fucked up out there. Yeah, a bit of flash flooding never hurted anybody. Well, I mean, it did, but hurted, by the way. Anyway. Whatever you seem to think. That seems a bit on the nose. It's very intense for a 12-year-old. Yeah? Okay. Like, reveal your true self. Feel like you might be doing it, maybe. Yeah, watch that curtain go and then... Told ya. Imagine this happens to you. You're like, what the fuck? Yeah, cute. Okay, but what about Mum? Is Mum dead? Or... Oh, yep, still not good. Still same spot. Now, the logical end here, obviously, is for Ame to come and save her, right? Oh, yeah, the same... Yeah, the same location. This, like, dream location, right? Taking the place of his father. I almost poked myself in the eye then. I mean, does it bode poorly that she's having a dream of her dead husband? Or partner? I don't know if they got married. Is she fucking dead, chat? I hope not. How much longer? Only a little bit. Yeah, but why are we able to embrace now? I don't know about an adult, but he's well on his way there. Yeah. I mean, okay, you saved her. Him, like, leaving for good now would be a very interesting decision, too. But I mean, as we said, like, 10 years old is like an adult wolf or whatever. You did everything. That was really good. Really love the colors there, too. Yeah, it's like a cleanse too, right? And everything's so clear in the sun. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really, really love that scene. Um, yeah, again, it's a mother watching her son grow up in front of her eyes. To be very direct about it, that she's a way bigger boy than she thought, and she needs to let go. That's that good shit. Is there a dog bowl on the table? That's kind of funny. Okay, you were dorming at junior high, fair enough. Oh, because we're ending? Yes. Well, what's mum gonna do now? It's that same old meal. Yeah? The forest is alive. He's still out there. I hear from him every now and again. He calls home, tells me what he's up to. It was very good. Um, just the structure of the film, I really liked. Just again, presented a problem and solved it in a satisfying way by the very end. I think it's a very good script. And yeah, I had a look at the voice actors before for the Japanese, but I can't say I recognized any of them. And just looking through these voice actors for the English, I don't think I recognize many either. Yeah, fantastic film. Fantastic. Very well paced, well shot, well storyboarded, but that stuff's pretty standard. Kind of this stuff here that you're seeing right now, kind of this home movie almost vibe to it that I really enjoyed. I think kind of unpacking the reason why they're half wolf, half human at certain points in the movie and how that came out was was interesting. I felt like it needed to be this way, I guess. Because again, you can point and laugh at Hosoda and say, "Oh, he's a furry," and then, but I think this is a necessary element of telling the story. Um, like, I don't see how you could tell this story without this element. I guess. Really, really liked Ame's story, and again, her needing to care for him so much very early, and him being, yeah, like that cute puppy dog eyes, and then progressing to what he does by the very end, saving his mother. And I think that the bear scene there is very poignant as well. Yeah, again, this is another very important turning point for her being protective of him. The bear scene, yeah, seeing that kind of parental relationship exists in nature all the same as well. Again, because so much of the film is about that separation. Yeah, look at all these support studios. Go off then. PA Works. Um, Yuki's story, and again being kind of that opposite, almost like starting off very wild and rambunctious, and then again almost feeling some amount of peer pressure from the school setting that she wanted so much to change herself and not be as wild and not show off this side and repress it. Um, and again, finally finding somebody that can, you know, she's had to keep this secret the entire time, that little ode to herself, and finding somebody that can, she could be honest with and like actually show off that side. I thought that was really beautiful as well. Obviously, Mum's the star. Mum's just a fucking trooper. She goes crazy. And again, for how quick it is at the very start, it's essentially just like exposition, setting up the circumstance before the death occurs. That's the inciting incident. For how brief that stuff was, I thought it was really well done. The kind of romance at the very start kind of transitions after that point to a lot more of a parenting story. Again, the film is called Wolf Children. Dress being very significant there too. Being aware of what she's wearing and so forth. It's a film I wanted to see more of. I wouldn't be against that continuing even beyond that point. So, but I think for Ame's story specifically, well, for all their stories, I think they came together really well. I guess that talks to the quality. I wanted to stay and watch more. I guess people stopped talking about this one as much. I haven't heard as many people talking about Wolf Children. When I was first getting into anime, kind of mid-2010s, like, this was one that was brought up. It's like, you gotta see this one. You gotta see Your Name. You gotta see Spirited Away. You gotta see Mononoke, or Princess Mononoke. Gotta see Mononoke too, apparently I have to. But I don't hear many people talking about it as much anymore. I don't know if there's been some re-examination there that they didn't really like it, or I don't know, but it's really good. Yeah. More people should watch this. More people should recommend this. Maybe everyone's just been there, done that already. Definitely the best Hosoda film. I'd take it above Belle. Of the ones I've seen, I'd probably say this is better than Belle, is better than Girl Who Leapt Through Time, is better than Mirai? Something like that. Mirai got nominated for an Oscar, which is crazy. Anyway. I've seen a lot of things that should have been nominated for Oscars before that. But anyway, I digress. Hosoda did a good job campaigning. Is that it? Yeah, we're out of here. It was good. Thank you for watching with me. Now, again, for these, I always feel like before coming back, I should go do my research and go, write something up and do all that kind of side of it. So I think I may leave for today, or leave for at least a little bit, maybe do my research, write up my notes, and then record tomorrow. Something like that. Again, the movies, I yapped a lot. Movies kind of take it out of me. Yeah, but this was really good. Wholeheartedly recommend it. Obviously, I'll have a few more collected thoughts here in but a moment. We'll try to record 50 minutes an hour, maybe. We'll see how much I end up doing. Because in kind of contrast to last week with Angel's Egg, this one's a bit more straightforward, you would say. Not any less good, obviously, but just, I don't need to write about what I think the plot is. Because, yeah, it's pretty obvious there. Really, really good. I'll return tomorrow. See you in a second. Rightio, so it's the next day. We're back. I've written my 10 pages of notes. It hopefully shouldn't take that long. And I've got a plot summary up here ready to go for us to jump back in here and just reconsider a few things. But yeah, after kind of spending the night on it, I'm still relatively hot on the film. I think it's really good. Yeah, it's... I don't know. Again, I kind of said during the ED, people have stopped talking about it, in my opinion, and I don't really know why. You could make the argument that it's a little bit safe. It's a safe movie. It's like a pretty rote story if you just take the supernatural element out of it, and I'll talk about that a little bit later. But it's good. We'll take good stories, even if I've seen them before and kind of know where they're going. We'll take 3 main characters with 3 arcs that I think end in satisfying spots and a pretty good runtime, relatively good pacing. It's just good. It's clearly just good. Again, I think in no small part thanks to yours truly up here. I think he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting here on the production front. I can smell Hosoda all over this for sure. In a lot of ways, it's probably the most Hosoda film. Just kind of taking together everything that he's known for, whether that be production-wise, storyboarding-wise, general plot element-wise. I'm talking about the furry stuff. Yeah, it's the most of all that. It's the reason why he has what he has, I guess. I also thought the film did better. I don't know, like, this seems kind of low for, again, how much I intuited people talking about the movie. I don't know. Anyway, I'm sure it did very well, considering, because That's still a good number for anime, I'm going to tell you right now. But either way, I'll go through all this kind of stuff later when I have it framed better, but let's just start with a plot summary. Again, I've done these in the past, and they're probably more apt for stuff like Akira, stuff that's a little bit more obfuscated about what the plot is. This seems pretty straightforward, so potentially this will be pretty quick, but let's run back through here. In Tokyo, Hana falls in love with an enigmatic man during her second year of college, who eventually reveals himself to be a wolfman. They later have 2 children, a daughter named Yuki, Snow, and a son named Ame, Rain. Again, I'm wondering if I do the dub, are they going to call that kid Snow, and they're going to call that other kid Rain? That doesn't sit right with me. Is the mum called Flower too? Be serious. Be serious right now. Also, yeah, I kind of got a little bit of the connection of, okay, Snow and Rain are pretty similar, and then Mum's Flower, and flowers need water, so you know what I mean? They're being cute, I think, a little bit. Again, we'll talk about nature as a major theme a little bit later on in the piece as well, but kind of this combination of, again, flower, water, and animals, nature, symbiosis, missing one element of nature in the family unit almost, and Ame by the very end of the film almost finding his own familial unit and replacing that element in there in nature. Does that make any sense? Like he's becoming that arbiter of nature the same way that Dad would have been the arbiter of the family. See what I mean? See what I mean? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Either way, Dad gets killed. It's still unclear how he gets killed, but he gets put in a dump truck. I think that's kind of mean, but I think it's kind of funny too. It's this really weird mix that I don't dislike. It's pretty cool. Hana's life as a single mother is difficult. She has to hide the children as they constantly switch between their wolf and human forms, and they often get into fights. Again, they're kids, fair enough. After she receives noise complaints and a visit from social services who are concerned that the children have not had their vaccinations, Hana moves the family to the countryside away from prying neighbors. She works hard to repair a dilapidated house, but struggles to sustain the family on their own crops. With help from a strict old man named Nirasaki, she learns how to farm sufficiently and befriends some of the locals. That's really weird, because that's 50 minutes of the movie. Like, that's, yeah, a lot of plot happens that I would say is significant in the last half. Again, as we can see here. One day, Ame almost drowns in the river while trying to hunt a kingfisher. Yuki rescues him, and Ame becomes more confident in his wolf abilities. Kind of. Yuki begs the mother to enroll her in a public school, and Hana accepts on the condition that Yuki keeps her wolf nature a secret. Yuki soon makes friends at school, while Ame is bullied by his school peers. Meanwhile, Ame often skips school and becomes more interested in the forest and takes lessons from an elderly fox about survival in the wild. In 4th grade, Yuki's class receives a new student transfer, Sohei, who realizes something is unusual about her. When he pursues the matter concerning her, Yuki gets increasingly angry, leading her to transform into a wolf and inadvertently injure his ear. At the meeting with their parents and teachers, Sohei claims a wolf attacked him, absolving Yuki of the blame, and the two become friends. Yuki chastises Ame for not going to school. When he refuses, they get into a physical fight. 2 years later, the elementary school is let out early due to treacherous weather. As Hana is about to retrieve her, Ame disappears into the forest to help his dying fox teacher, and Hana follows him. Yuki and Sohei are left at school. Yuki reveals her ability to Sohei and confesses that it was really her that attacked him. He tells her that he already knew and promises to keep her secret. Meanwhile, searching for Ame, Hana slips and falls off a cliff. She sees a vision of the children's father, telling her that Yuki and Ame will find their own paths in life and that she raised them well. Ame finds Hana and carries her to safety. She awakens to see him fully transformed into an adult wolf and runs off into the mountains. Realizing that he has found his own path, she happily but tearfully accepts his goodbye. 1 year later, Yuki leaves home to move to middle school dormitory. Ame's wolf howls are heard far and wide in the forest. Hana, now living alone, reflects that raising her wolf children was like a fairy tale, but feels very proud of the way she raised them. Yeah. That about sums it up, I think. And yeah, I think that leaves us here. Also, I've got this down here that I haven't been using, sorry. I've got the film. You can go to various spots in the film. Where is it when they do the dirty deed? Over here somewhere. Oh my god, scandalous. Anyway, story aside, that, again, was kind of redundant. I kind of knew all that already, and I think a lot of the more interesting stuff in this discussion will come in talking about the characters and what it all meant, I guess. So again, just starting here, read a summary. Was there anything I potentially misunderstood or misinterpreted? Editing this Google Docs document I misinterpreted, apparently. But no, not really. I kind of got all that, I think. So with that being said, we'll dive into the characters. We're going to start here with Hana. We're going to go through the main three, and then a few side characters that I think are potentially interesting, right? I would argue that Hana is the main character of the film, with the other two mainly getting most of their characterization here in this second half. She is the star of the start of the movie. Again, the kids are kids. They're more like obstacles than characters here at this early stage. There is some early characterization, but it's more like, hey, I love my kids and I don't want them to get taken away from me. I don't want them to hurt themselves. I want them to have the best life possible. I want them to give that opportunity. So again, making the decisions that she makes and moving out to the countryside and all that kind of jazz. Really, really loved this scene. This kind of like realization upon the dawning of the new morning that they weren't welcome here anymore. She didn't really have that support network or anything. It must be really hard for her. I don't know what her relationship with her family's like, but imagine trying to explain that to her mum and dad. Like, I have wolf children. Like, literally, they're like wolves. Odd. And again, I think there's a lot of funny jokes in the film, and that's part of the kind of journey of it, is kind of conflating owning a pet and like having your first child and that kind of stuff, right? There's the part where she's kind of reading the books on, you know, how to raise kids, and then opens a book on how to raise wolves, right? There's that really scary scene there where she hits the silica gel, and it's like, oh my god, what do I do? And again, I'm imagining that hits a little bit harder if you're a parent yourself. But again, that is the first thrust of the movie to about the midpoint, right? To about 50 minutes in, is her overcoming this obstacle, overcoming again the first major hurdle here, which is the death of the husband, right? Or the partner, it's unclear. In that way, the move out of the city towards self-sufficiency in itself reflects this, right? I no longer have the support network of the city around me even, right? I have to do everything myself, including making meals, making food, like gardening, cleaning, making sure the kids don't die. Everything. Again, if that's not representative of what it's like to be a single mother, then I don't know what is, right? And again, as I say here, it all culminates in this beautiful moment. Again, I'm imagining the standout scene in the film for a lot of people is this kind of, you would call it the snowy mountain climbing scene. Brilliant. Reminds me, again, I mentioned in the moment, look back vibes. If you know, you know. There's certain, it's that same kind of euphoric scene, right? Where you've tried so hard at something for ages and you just get that little bit of reward. Yeah, it feels really, really good. Music very similar there too, I think, through that sequence. And again, I think that still stands as my favorite scene in the film. I would argue the most impactful scene is over here, this kind of final goodbye scene, which, again, I really enjoyed as well. There's definitely, there's an art to that. There's a poetry there that I really liked. And something that I personally can relate to. Just kind of like, hey mom, I got this, I'm okay now, right? And again, kind of using a fantasy element of him transforming into an adult wolf right in front of her very eyes. I think that's very well done. Again, I could imagine that scene just destroys you if you're a mother, right? And again, I write here, she made me want to hug my mom. Like, my mum must have gone through so much in raising me and my siblings and stuff, and it just made me kind of think about that, and that's cool. Not that she's a single parent at all. I have a father, and yeah, you know, they're together. But again, nevertheless, like, they all have to go through the same things, I guess. And yeah, again, doing that alone is scary. It's really, really scary. And I'd say her major arc in the film is going from young mother experiencing loss, right? Like, I've lost the love of my life right here, unceremoniously. I have to get back up on my feet. And then in trying to get back up on her feet, she grows, like, super attached to the kids, obviously, right? She literally feels so much responsibility for helping them grow up and become the people that they are. And again, if she didn't put in these efforts like she did early, then I don't think they would have made it, you know? So then it becomes hard for her to let go by the very end, right? And let them choose to be the people that they want to be. I mean, specifically Ame here, right? So to summarize, it's like experiencing that unexpected loss and then moving towards creating a loss on your own terms and allowing those characters to be free in that way, which I really, really liked. Again, I write here, reminded me of my own mother. I believe, and I read this somewhere, I couldn't confirm it, I believe Hosoda was raised by a single mother. So I believe that's where a lot of this is coming from. I also read somewhere, I couldn't see if he has kids, but I believe around the time when he was making this movie he was considering having kids, right? I think I read as well the previous film that he did to this Summer Wars that was about like kind of meeting his wife's family. And I'm imagining it's some kind of eccentric family type story. Like somebody comes into something that they're not really familiar with and has to readjust and that kind of thing. So again, you can relate that to the real life experience of meeting the in-laws, so to say. And again, I feel like so many of these movies are about this kind of thing. Again, I've mentioned Mirai a number of times here, very, very similar, about raising a kid. So I'll be very surprised if Hosoda doesn't have a kid, is my point. Yeah, just it's fun to see how you can add this fantasy spin to these kind of everyday things that all people generally go through, right? I write here as well, I also think that the idea of an anime starring a single mother raising her kids is kind of novel, right? Again, anime has this reputation, fair or not, of being kind of fucking stupid. So again, seeing something that is resonant to most people around the world without needing to, and I like the stupid shit. Come on, I love it. I watched 5 seasons of Symphogear on the channel. I'm not immune to it, right? But again, seeing something a little bit more grounded every now and again is nice. Moving on here, we have Yuki. Potentially, I like Yuki. I was going to say my least favorite of the 3, but I don't really think I have a least favorite. She's cool. I would say early on she starts off as annoying, right? We're not quite in Mirai areas. I think Mirai is quite annoying, but again, it's everything a kid should be, right? Energetic, loud, running around, doesn't know social situations and standards and that kind of stuff. Very much like, your rambunctious younger girl character, and kind of following that progression into becoming a little bit more aware of herself and how she dresses and how she acts around other people, and kind of the influence of society on that, and the influence of the kind of her classmates and what they perceive as normal on her, and she's not immune to that kind of stuff. I think that's really fun to follow, and again, somewhat relatable, right? You start off as a kid that doesn't care, and then you care a lot, right? And as I write here, I think attaching that kind of stuff to the difference in social expectation between boys and girls is interesting, shows how versatile the whole wolf thing can be as a metaphor. So, yeah, what I mean here, right, is that early on, she's the one that embraces the wolf a lot, right? And as I write later, I'm associating the wolf a lot with inhibition. Like release your inhibitions, just fucking go, do whatever your mind tells you to do, be free. It's freedom, instinct, that kind of stuff, right? So when Mum says that she needs to conceal, not feel, and has that little song about it, you can't help but relate it to, hey, you need to be prim and proper in a certain way that girls are more than boys, right? Boys are allowed to have a longer leash on that kind of stuff, at least in my opinion. As I write a little bit later as well, I'm associating this wolf stuff a lot with masculine traits. Again, generally, I'm generalizing, but again, like nature in the wild, getting dirty, running around, expanding energy, not being kind of this more traditional, calm, prim, proper type person, right? And again, that overall message of Sohei accepting that part of herself and that she no longer needs to keep it hidden as much is really beautiful, right? Her repression got pushed to the nth degree by him, and then he still accepted it, right? Like, oh, sorry, I didn't realize what I was doing. You can attach that to a lot of the Sohei family situation stuff going on. There's some nice symmetry there. Yeah, it's cool. Like, you can see what I mean. Like girls don't generally fight. Girls aren't allowed to fight and all that kind of stuff, right? Like, her being kind of pushed to the nth degree like that, and that kind of that lashing out is something that wouldn't be associated with femininity generally. And again, a boy accepting that is really nice. Such an energetic character early on definitely gives the film the momentum as well. Ame is a lot more stationary, obviously, right? Where she's the one that's, again, responding to stimuli and giving the film comedy and that kind of thing, right? Like, this example where they first get to the house is probably the best example. She fucking runs around like crazy, and Ame just gets kind of scared by a lizard, like right there. Like, look at that lizard, and then it's, oh my god, I don't want to look at that shit. Yeah. Where, again, contrast between the two. Like, again, if it was two kids like Ame, I think the first half of the movie would really drag a lot more. I'll talk about the scene a lot more as we continue as well. I think it's another really important scene. It's the fight scene between the two siblings, right? So again, this is where the major ideal of the movie is clashing, the clash between the wolf and the human sides. Again, look at the table. You've got all the stuff because you're assimilating, you've got all the stuff because you're rebelling and that kind of stuff, or the lack thereof, I guess. And again, it's really fun to see them reverse through the film, right? Like, you used to not really like your natural side. Again, there was lots of stuff around you in the storybook about, like, wolves are perceived as the villains and all that kind of stuff. So you're moving out of that and realizing, you know, your sense of self in a lot of ways is really cool. Where again, your movement more towards humanity, more towards your mother's side as well, and understanding other people, but still, understanding both sides. I think both sides understand both sides by the very end in a cool way. Specifically here, there's a scene at the very end where she's in the bath, I think. Yeah, right there. Again, she's like scared of her brother right there because he's gone like full wolf mode, right? I think that this is a really vulnerable scene and really adds to some good dimensionality, right? That, as well as the her disappointment in her fight with Sohei, right? Like, she's disappointed in herself and she's sulking and all that kind of stuff. Could you imagine the Yuki early in the film doing the same thing? No, she's grown into herself a lot in a lot of ways. She's come of age, right? It's all about awareness, you know? And again, as I write here, her decision of the end of the film to be human as opposed to Ame's decision to be wolf should be, that's, again, some nice symmetry, them kind of moving either ways with their assimilations into their various cultures. I think that's cool. Let's move on to Ame. I think Ame was the grower, not the shower character of the film, right? Where I didn't really know what they were doing till the very end, and then I'm like, got it, gotcha, that's pretty cool. As I write here, his journey from the protected, very early on in the film when he's kind of sickly and just kind of going through the motions. Again, he's very, very young there, but even as we continue, right, he's the one that's often running away, hiding behind mum. Specific scene where, like, she's really caring for him and telling him that everything's going to be okay, daijobu. Moving from there to the protector, to protecting his own mother, to feeling some amount of responsibility for the natural environment and what's going on there and all that kind of stuff. There's definitely an element of spiritualism to it as well. Again, often associating gods with wolves and all that kind of stuff in a very almost Studio Ghibli way. Cool. Very, very cool. As I write here as well, gives the film its most impactful moment. This was the one that hit me the hardest. Again, your mileage may vary. I think, as I've explained before, like, you look so much like your father and you're walking away and you're doing your own thing. Without mother, you're literally like caressing her as opposed to being caressed by her. That's just, again, it's pretty obvious, but it's good stuff, right? Going from the sick and overly attached child who hates the outdoors and nature, I saw that kind of lizard scene before, right? To his eventual decision to be a wolf permanently and bring balance to the land, again, in a very Studio Ghibli way, is fantastic. Again, I'm mentioning Studio Ghibli because in my research as well, I sort of did a lot of work with Studio Ghibli as well. As I should write here, his meetings with the wolf in captivity are particularly important here. So him embracing his inner wolf, so to say. Where's the best time when he sees this wolf in the cage? Probably somewhere here, right? So again, he's locked up. The wolf is locked up because the wolf is locked up inside Ame right now, right? And it's only when it's set free and he's able to actually like understand the role of what the wolf is supposed to be in nature, that he's able to fully embrace it and be set free himself, right? And be the person that he's meant. He's trapped in the egg right now. He needs to break the world shell, to put it simply, right? And again, I just think that this is a really thought-provoking sequence in the middle of the film, knowing the context now of the very end. And again, you could argue that the development is very sudden. It's not particularly well telegraphed. Well, it's telegraphed, as we can see here. It's just not very filmic, I guess. It just kind of happens in a way that... But I also think the snap nature of it remains poignant. Again, children growing up before your very eye, that kind of stuff. Like, hey, mum going from him looking like this to him looking like this, in like not long at all in screen time is purposeful. I think that's meant to say something about how quickly boys do grow up. In this way, I think the sensei angle is really cool too and is very, very important in his personal development, as I've said before. You can see the film clearly delineated into chapters down the bottom there as well. I didn't write it down here, but I meant to. Almost this movie feels like it could have been a TV anime. It could have been a 12-episode TV anime and worked just as well, I think. Feels a lot like a Silent Voice like that. I feel the same way about that film, where it could have been a 12-episode anime and probably been a little bit better. And again, obviously, I talked about the wolf connection to Oh God before, and Okami and all that kind of stuff. There's definitely, the fox stuff too, of course. As I write here, it reads to be as the important male role for Ame and his development, right? That kind of good masculine figure in his life, showing him the right way to be, kind of the opposite of non-toxic masculinity, I guess I should say, right? Like stoicism, there's definitely like a spiritual element to it, as I keep saying. It's really, really cool. Again, despite not being a wolf, showing him that wolves are more than the big bad wolf from his storybooks. They can be important arbiters in nature, right? A force that keeps things in check, stands proudly, all that kind of stuff. It feels good, right? It feels really good. And again, as I mentioned in the moment, really, really kind of amazing kind of background here, seeing this whole new world open up to him, and again, having that same scene repeated when he's excitedly showing his mother about nature and teaching her things and that kind of thing. Again, it's become his entire world, as we can see here. Really, really cool. Really, really, really cool. Again, I think this is almost the first time we've seen him smile in the movie. Very important moment. Again, film doing a lot of that development through musical montage. It's no mistake that as he grows up, his character design matches that of his father. Thought it was a nice touch, culminating, of course, with this dream sequence here, where she kind of mistakes Ame for the father briefly during her dream, right? And again, you've raised two good children, don't worry about what you've done, all that kind of stuff. And again, cut back to see Ame saving the mother. You've raised him to be able to do that for you. Isn't that kind of this great accomplishment for Hana as well? And again, there's no confirmation here, and upon probably rereading it, this probably doesn't happen, but I kind of like it, right? I'd like to think that Ame, a lot like his father, because again, I'm reading the father like he's come straight out of the bush. He's come straight out of the bush into college because he wants to learn about humanity or something like that, right? I can imagine at some point Ame having that similar change of heart and going on a similar journey to his father. I think their character designs correlating the way they do is purposeful in that way. You could read into Ame's story here as a faux kind of origin story for the father, if that makes any sense. Like, I should look very early in the film, why does the father have that picture? Is it somewhere where that place looks nice, or does it have some kind of significance to him? Is he literally from here? All that kind of stuff. Again, it's fan theory stuff, because I don't think there's any more content there, but yeah, I'd like to think that Ame is going to come back to the human world at some point and go to college and meet somebody and blah, 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 blah. All that kind of stuff. Or he could stay a wolf forever, both work. So again, those are the three main characters and probably the ones I have the most to say about, but let's talk about the father briefly. Again, a brief but memorable character whose importance in the film is only increased after his death. It's all about his lack of presence and his what that means for the other characters. He's more a plot device than an actual guy, but I think there's enough there that informs Ame as well, him being kind of quiet and understated and doesn't really reveal everything. Also, there's a bit of Yuki in there about not revealing stuff. Yeah, I think that kind of like rippling out into the other characters in the rest of the film is kind of nice. Let's go to a visual of what I'm talking about, right? Like, again, mysterious, wants to run away, doesn't want to be discovered, all this kind of stuff, slowly opening up to somebody else, still obviously keeping their secrets as well, doesn't want to tell her the thing on the bridge here. Very significant bridge as well, as we see a little bit later in the film. The not telling about the showing up late to the date and all that kind of jazz, and then eventually revealing things, and then her accepting him for that, and so forth, right? And as I've said, that's Ame. Ame runs away. Ame doesn't feel confident in his own form and masculinity and all that kind of stuff. He doesn't feel comfortable being honest with everybody all the time either. And it's Yuki, pretty obviously, right? Revealing that secret of being a half-wolf. And I think I mentioned in the moment as well, his lack of presence, like, and Hana needing to deal with that gives a really powerful edge to the fight scene, right? Specifically, like, looking out, and like, oh shit, what am I even supposed to do here? Looking towards that license specifically. Like, I'm sure you guys have siblings, some of you out there, and you've had fights with your siblings before. And did dad get involved? I think dad gets involved generally, right? Mum doesn't break them up like that, at least not in our family. So, because dad he wouldn't beat the shit out of me, but he'd give me a little slap. So again, she just doesn't have the capacity to do that. Again, the film is getting that across through this wolf form. She doesn't have a wolf form to compete with these two when they base themselves off instinct the way that they do, right? Again, even now, what is this, like 10 to 12 years into the kind of thing of being the wolf mother or whatever, right? She still can't really do it. Again, really, really poignant moment. Really like it. I've kind of already talked about this as well. Presumably is a wolf that came to our world to learn more about things. Explains the lack of textbook and like the one set of clothes that he has and the really weird temp job that he has and all that kind of stuff. Like, I think that he's a wolf that came to our world is my point. And again, Ame going through the opposite, kind of discovering the wolf world, so to say, instead of the human world, and having a sensei to teach him, as he had his sensei back in the day in kind of Hana in a lot of ways. Yeah, I think there's some nice symmetry there, again, of learning both sides. And I'll write here, this character is not what I expected at all. Like, at all. So, again, I knew a few things about the movie going into it. I knew that the dad wasn't sticking around long, and I thought we were going to try to say something about men through the wolf thing and through kind of being a lone wolf. I thought he was going to be a deadbeat, is my point. I thought he was going to, you know... there was going to be two kids and then he was just going to run away. And he didn't. He just died instead. I thought that he was a deadbeat. I'm going to be honest. That's kind of funny. So again, that kind of explains my surprise upon seeing him fucking dead here in the water. Again, unceremoniously put in the garbage bag and thrown in the back of the truck. And I write here that he's also kind of hot. I don't know. I'm not gay, but you know, you can kind of just tell. I can see why she's into him, is the point. Again, not much to say here with the rest of the cast, but let's continue. Sohei, not much to him, but he works as somebody well that disarms Yuki. Again, she's gotten very used to concealing her feelings and promising not to let her nature come out and all that kind of stuff. And again, this kind of person that comes in the second act that pushes her out of her comfort zone is needed, right? It would be a boring movie if this conflict didn't arise within it. Again, I'm choosing to read there's a romantic twinge to this as well. Like, hey, there's a scene where she gets like really flustered upon him holding her hand and a bunch of other stuff. Like, yeah, right there, I think. I just had it. Yeah, gets a bit flustered. I think there's something there for sure. So in that kind of way, it's, you know, coming of age, becoming comfortable with the opposite sex. In that way, becoming comfortable with her own wolf side as well. You can kind of see what I'm getting at there. Makes a lot of sense. And again, I just think he's like a cool kid. I think he was cool when he protected Yuki from much more trouble in the principal's office, again, by saying that a wolf did it, and that he brought her sheets for school and that kind of stuff. And again, as I've said before, his family trouble contrasts well with Yuki's family trouble in a cool way. His desire to run away is also thematically relevant to the rest of the film, as Ame, quote-unquote, runs away from his family situation as well. So, yeah, just fits well into the narrative, does his job doer, which we like. That one old guy, I believe his name was Nirasaki. The guy himself is great. He's just this kind of tsundere, endearing grandpa character that, you know... And again, I like how Hana reads through it by the very end, like, you know, thank you for doing all this kind of stuff for me. It's like, no, I didn't do anything for you. Shut up. It's like, no, but we know what you're doing, right? It's very cool. But again, this entry here is more about how chill the town was. I think in a worse narrative, you're going to have a lie revealed type story, right? Oh my god, the town discovers that the wolf children are wolf children and kind of, you know, chastises her for that, and there's kind of this end of second act breakup, and then, you know, there needs to be something that brings the town back together and gets them to support the wolf children and all that kind of stuff. I think that'd be a shit story. So I'm very, very happy we didn't do that. Instead, it's way more internal. Instead, the town are just nice. I like nice people, so it was good. We did something more interesting with the runtime, as I say here, for sure. And again, I think that's most of the characters in the film. It's not a real, like, wide cast, I guess I would say, but the ones that they do have, they do nail. That in itself is a good way to talk about the story as well, so I've kind of gone through a lot of the story already. So from here, let's go through a few aesthetic things and then do some theming stuff, and then we'll bring it to a close. As always, it's film animation from, you know, like the 2010s. Of course, it's fantastic. It's very, very good. Again, like through the sequence, this kind of run up the mountains is the highlight scene. It just is. It just is the highlight scene. Not to say that the rest of the film doesn't contain very, very good animation. Particular shout-outs to this first kind of musical montage as the kids we're learning about the kids and what their kind of go is. I think there's a lot of good moments kind of fluidity wise there as well. So yeah, good action packed stuff, good kind of quiet character moment stuff as well. Again, as I mentioned previously, just kind of like the rubbing on the head of Ame at a certain point, which I'm sure I've missed somewhere, but it's somewhere in there. Yeah, I talk about this a little bit later on with the visuals. Her sort of character designs are a little bit hit and miss for me. Their eyes are very wide apart, which I'm less sure about. It kind of feels to me kind of like Ghibli, but not quite as classy. Yeah, it's a little bit more ramshackle. I don't mind them, and they're expressive enough, but they're not my favorite in the world. I'd like something with a little bit more juice. It reminds me of you know what a Makoto Shinkai character design looks like, right? It's just a little bit safe. It's a little bit safe. But again, in a film that's so very grounded, you probably need something like that as well. So again, in the character department, shout out to the stuff early on when they're first turning into wolves. I think that's pretty slick. As we skip through here, kind of this kind of stuff. This is the first real example of it. I think that's pretty slick. I think that's pretty cool. And again, if we go back here a little bit more, like this kind of really tragic wide shot as we see like kind of Hana run in with the kids and kind of like plead with the guy. I think the distance here does a lot for the scene, and again the animation is good to boot. And again, as I've already talked about, the snow mountain climb sequence for the action scene is the best scene in the film, I would say. Again, her sort of character designs, I've already talked about it, but the design of the dad's really cool. I think it looks very wolfy in a very cool way. Got that kind of mane thing going on, which I enjoy. That's him as a wolf, but how about him just in general? Yeah, something about this guy just looks like a wolf. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know if that's me. That's something that I've intuited because this was the progenitor, or it's pulling from something else entirely. Where like this is a character that looks like a wolf. I don't know. I was reminded of the character design of Brand New Animal and the wolf detective guy there. Again, pretty similar, I would say. And it's par for the course for the visuals, but fantastic backgrounds, shots of the Japanese countryside, reminding me of Your Name at points, which again, that film has fantastic backgrounds. Yeah, I mean, they're all just fantastic examples, that kind of stuff, you know? This kind of rural Japan, this kind of look, really painterly look, really love the trees in the backgrounds there. And again, once we get out of the city and fully kind of embracing this setting, so to say, really feels like it really comes alive in that regard. Yeah, it just looks great. I don't know what to tell you. The biggest surprise of the movie for me was the music. I'd never heard any of the music from the film or even heard that it was good or anything. It's brilliant. It's one of the best kind of anime movie scores out. I think it does a lot to carry the film. As I see here, sweeping, beautiful, and grandiose, but also loving and understated in the scenes where it needs to be. It assisted in giving the film's quieter moments and prevalent use of musical montage. It just all clicked together very, 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 very well. Reminded me a lot of Haruka Nakamura's score for Look Back from 2024, which is already one of my favorites. That's one when I'm making thumbnails or doing some study or whatever else I'll just put on. So again, I'm going to add this soundtrack to the rotation as well. Shoutouts to the people that produced it. It's really, really, really good. And I guess this sequence here's themes. I just kind of write what did it all mean is a little bit more of a broader concept, a little bit more casual, I guess. But yeah, let's start here with why the wolf. I think that's an important element. So again, as I've said previously, the film itself is pretty rote. It's the death of a father and then a mother needing to raise two children by herself, right? And making accommodations and learning to be self-sufficient and all this kind of stuff as a kind of metaphor for that, right? Why does the wolf elevate it, I guess, right? And as I've said before, it's this link to primal instinct. When we embrace the wolf, we live without barriers, right? Mum is so much about putting up these barriers for the kids, right? Don't show your wolf to anybody else, blah, 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 blah. Again, she wants to protect them so that they don't fucking die, right? And needing to reconcile that with these kids that don't really understand that yet, and when they do, they need to make their own choice about how they embrace this other instinctual side of themselves. I think that is poignant as fuck. I think that is fantastic. And again, mum grappling with either side. Should I let them be free or should I cage them more to protect them? But again, it's mother's actions in the first half of the movie that kind of give the choices by either sibling by the very end their weight, right? Like, you choosing to go this way, Yuki, and Ame choosing to go the other way, based on their evidence that they found themselves, is like the essence of being a parent, you know? And I think, again, the wolf only only exacerbates this. It's only really good, right? Again, the caged wolf through the middle of the film, as I keep bringing up, right? Very, very important kind of metaphor. Like, your wolf is caged right now. You need to let your wolf be free in whatever way you see fit. Again, Yuki lets hers be free by showing Sohei her that other side. Again, Ame's is more direct. He just becomes a wolf, right? And again, this is extremely broad, can be applied to a number of allegories with enough supporting evidence, speaks to living freely without constraints, whether societal, familial, or otherwise. In other words, embrace your inner wolf. Yeah, so again, as I talked about societally, this kind of expectation on Yuki to be a certain way because she's a girl. I see a lot of the wolf stuff in that, and embracing somebody and showing somebody that side of yourself, that wolf side, is very important in kind of breaking that. Where, again, I feel like Ame's is more familial, right? Mum's kind of holding me back a little bit. Obviously, Mum's feeling like Dad died because he was a wolf, because he was hunting for us, because he was out at that time. I don't want that same thing to happen to my son. Again, that's his constraint that he must overcome. But again, we say that we must embrace our inner wolf by the very end. Wolves have a deep connection to nature, which matches the urban/rural split in the theming of the film. Again, much like Your Name, which contains a very similar, very overt kind of split between rural and urban stuff, which I think is one of the major themes in that film. Again, Mum moves from the city to the country to accommodate the kids, to be closer to nature, to be almost at that precipice between humans and nature, if that makes any sense, which is really cool. Again, their location is matching what the kids need at that time. And again, Hana through the film learns to be part of nature. In doing that, she learns gardening, she learns the importance of the community, of that rural community, right? Trading things back and forth, being social, making friends, all that kind of stuff. In that way, almost mirroring the kind of ecosystem and the symbiosis of everything that goes on there. I almost in a very dungeon meshy way, which is cool. Again, she understands the environment around her because she is participating in the environment around her. And again, it's very fun how the kids learn off this and split into two different ways. Again, Mum benefited a lot from the social aspect of it all, right? From being a human and connecting with other humans, but she also benefited a lot from nature and what the world and the plants and the trees and the wind and everything could provide for her through the produce, right? And again, kind of each kid goes another direction there. Again, this was one I had very early as well, is wolf equals masculinity. I'm not sure that this is particularly as overt as I thought when I started the movie, but it's still probably there. Again, traditionally, you would associate cats with femininity and dogs with masculinity, right? That's just a little bit of a shorthand for that kind of stuff generally. And again, I think this works for both of the titular wolf children. Again, when Ame embraces kind of positive masculinity in a lot of ways and his role in the world and his responsibility for the place around him and holds his head up high and all this kind of stuff, that's when he becomes a man. That's when he ages to become an adult wolf right in front of her very eyes. Makes a lot of sense, right? He actually becomes a true man in that way. And again, I'm reading the Yuki stuff as a little bit more of a suppressed tomboy type energy to it, right? Where again, I have these moments where I break and I slap you and I do this and I do that, and I have these moments where I don't want to wear a dress and where I fight with my brother and all this kind of stuff, right? And being able to show off that other masculine side of herself to Sohei and being accepted for that is, again, very powerful. Now, this is more of a pontification than anything else, nothing really all that specific, but why do Ame and Yuki make their respective decisions? Do they subconsciously or not want to mirror their parents? So again, where do we find Hana at the start of the film, right? She's at college and she seems to be a normal human, making friends and studying hard and doing all that kind of stuff, right? Dad, in contrast, is a wolf guy. He's still in class, but it's more, he's less, official. He doesn't have the textbook and all that kind of stuff. And then by the very end of the film, you have Yuki, who wants to pursue her education and be a little bit more normal and all that kind of stuff. And you have Ame that wants to be the wolf, that wants to be much like his father. Again, he's literally reflected as his father in that dream sequence. Is the film a little bit heteronormative in that way? Just a little bit? I would argue not. You'd have to be uncharitable to have that pure perspective, I think. But it's an interesting discussion point. Why does the female character feel the need to do this and the male character feel the need to do this? Why did they almost swap personalities in growing up? See what I mean? Yeah, it's very, very interesting. I almost wanted to dive into this stuff a little bit more as well, and inhibitions and all that kind of stuff, and get a little bit Freudian with it. the super ego and the id and all that kind of stuff. I chose against it. I don't think that we need to go that deep on it. But yeah, closing us out, we have the review segment, I guess I would say. Any real criticisms? I wouldn't say really there's any. I'll mention a few things. They're not criticisms, more just questions. Without the supernatural twist, does the story feel unique enough? Does it feel a little bit rote and schmaltzy at points to its detriment? I would argue no. I would argue no because, like, arguing that the film without the supernatural twist is boring is like arguing that fucking Akira without the sci-fi is boring, and like Perfect Blue without the horror is boring, and all these other things, right? Like, yeah, it's part of the movie. You can't just take it out. It's like, would Your Name be as interesting if it didn't have its premise? You can't separate the two. They're integrally linked, you know? I think it's a poor criticism, and I've seen this echoed on some Reddit threads that I was reading, right? Like, the supernatural twist is the uniqueness. The idea that it is half wolf, half children is the point of the movie. You cannot separate it, right? And again, I think that's what gives it that extra layer of, like, me thinking about it the whole time that wouldn't be there otherwise, I don't think. So again, to some more stuff that I'm a little bit more, like, sure on. The pace drops a tad in the last 15 minutes, I would say. This kind of sequence of, I just wanted them to kind of get it done. This is really poignant scene, though. This is a fantastic scene with the mother bear. Think about it. Mothers also existing in nature, too. And him having, and Ame having a responsibility there to protect that kind of stuff as well. Again, we've seen mothers and their kids throughout the film. Human mothers and human kids. And now Mum seeing that reflected at her in nature. And her kind of embracing this natural side and the natural feeling of being a mother through the film too. It just matches perfectly. Almost, again, embracing that father's side by the very end. Yeah. That's, fantastic scene. Anyway, I was being critical. Just kind of wrap it up then a little bit through this sequence. Do we really need her holding onto the branch that long? Do we need this? Do we need that? Again, but once you get to this kind of stuff with Sohei and Yuki, just fantastic. And obviously, I've talked about this scene a ton. Just really triumphant, really fantastic, leading up to the climax of the film. And again, this is really nitpicky, but the use of CGI in the very start of the film is poor. I don't like this kind of stuff. Never hurt anybody, though. I've seen enough things with CGI people that don't look great in wide shots. At least it's not... Oh, what was the worst example? Skiga Kure? I think that has really terrible CGI, and it's kind of everywhere. Take it or leave it. It's fine. It's fine. I would just have her walking down the street with nobody next to her. I guess it shows how integrated she is in society, in urban society, as opposed to where she has to be by the midpoint of the film. Again, would I recommend Wolf Children? Yes, it's a fantastic film, but I think you guys knew that. And as I write here, I think when you watch this movie in your life is very important. I think it's so much of an all ages movie. I think you can get much out of it if you're a kid, if you're a teenager, if you're a young adult, like I am. If you're a parent, you're going to get a lot out of it. If you're a grandparent, it's going to fucking destroy you. Like, I think there's quite a bit there. I really do. I think it would destroy me if I was a parent. It would destroy me. It would wreck me, right? Like this ending scene. It destroyed me in the moment, and I related to Ame. Imagine if I related to Hana, watching my kid grow up right in front of me, you know? And do I think it's Hosoda's best work? I think it's his best film. I think his stuff on Utena is still better. Again, what were the other episodes? I know episode 20 is a banger, but episode 7, episode 14, episode 20, the best episode. Also spoilers for Utena, I guess. What was that one? I believe it was good. Sure, let's say it was good. I must say that he didn't direct these, he storyboarded them, and I keep saying that he directed them, so sue me, I guess. This is the jury episode, so it's amazing. Any more? Oh, is that the one I think it is? Yeah, the amusement park. Yeah. Yeah. And then the last episode he did boards for too, which is also fantastic. Fantastic. Also, I don't know what the pseudonym business is about, but I digress. So again, his work there is better, in my opinion. And the Digimon movie's cool too, but I haven't seen much else through him. But yeah, it's his best theatrical film, Wolf Children, if we wanted to recenter things. yeah, if people have more takes on the film and what they took out of it, that'd be great too. Just let me know, whether on Discord or YouTube comments or whatever else. I appreciate the feedback and everything else that comes with it and so forth. Next week, there'll be another film. Please look forward to it. It'll be one of Pompo the Cinephile, Redline, or the other one, Millennium Actress. There we go. It'll be one of those three. So again, check the Patreon if this is public, because it should be up there already. Again, Discord if you want to talk to me about stuff. Suggest any new shows. Should be a poll at the moment, maybe, for Girls Band Cry. Keep an eye on it, maybe. But yeah, we'll close it out there. Wolf Children, good. Have fun with your respective wolf children, whatever they may be in life. Remember to embrace your inner wolf chat. Become the furry you were always meant to be. And yeah, I'll see you guys later. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.